Full disclosure, I mean, yeah, I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax preparer. I'm a financial advisor. I work a lot with other CPAs and if tax preparers. So I have a working idea of taxes, right? So about taxes essentially yɛwɔ mu ahodoɔ bebree. Baako yɛ biribi a yɛfrɛ no sales tax sɛ ebi a wokɔ akɔdi dwa wotumi wohwɛ receipt no so the taxes a wɔn charge o. Na yɛwɔ biribi a yɛfrɛ no estate taxes. Estate taxes yɛ sɛbi sɛ wofiri mu a wo yɛ twi kasa mi bɛka agyapadeɛ wɔ agyapadeɛ. America sɛbi wofiri mu soso a wote ase yɛ wotwa taxes wofiri mu soso a wobɛtwa taxes. Ɛna yɛwɔ biribi a yɛfrɛ no long term and short term capital gain taxes. Nti ɛno yɛ investment. Wɔn a wɔyɛ investment ɛwɔ ebi sɛ market ne yɛ yim saa no ɛno nso so ɛho taxes a wɔbɛtua. But ɛna enumere yi deɛ ebedi ho nkɔmɔ ɛyɛ biribi a yɛfrɛ no income taxes me ne wɔ yi nyinaa yɛwɔ zoom yi so. At the end of the year biara yɛtua taxes last month by April 15th. I also to me file with taxes. Nti ɛno ho na yɛbɛdi ho nkɔmɔ kakra. Now, say about your retirement planning, your essentially your man who do you will be a friend of pre-tax. Ultimate side for we could call it traditional or tradition. Essentially, what this is, as say, sika into your account. I would do bebre. You will be a friend of 401k. And I'm more yeah, Juma for hospitals and non-profits and I'm a friend of 43B. And then you will be a friend of IRA. And then you will be a friend of annuity and a pension. Into women deny a different accounts. You to me use it for retirement and a pension. But send a second no. And then a better determine taxes that will be clear. Into Bibia yeah, Juma. Say most jobs I'm on my 401k. And I saw yeah, Juma for state I'm on my pension. Because they say, first, it wasn't always like that. And that pension was like a big deal. Do you remember Abekobia, not pension or more edema? But as time went by, they came up with 401k. And essentially, 401k took over pensions. But back to the topic about a taxes. Into Sika for any pre-tax and any tradition for a account, amounts sikana bekomu no. It says amount withheld from an employee's gross pay before federal, state, and local income taxes are applied. Simple meaning say sikana ye de egu sa account yi mu no. Betie free paycheck no. Wunya ntwea ho taxes. Nti no every gross income. Nti wunya ntwea. Nti na mboa na sa wo kwa akoyi sika na saa time no na wobɛtua taxes. Yɛmu bebree adwuma mu deɛ ɔmo de ma yɛ no most of them ɛyɛ wei bi ɛyɛ traditional 403B and I said 401k. So a mama yɛnhyɛ no so because na mboa wodu sɛ retirement na wokɔ akɔyi sika yɛmu bebree no maybe wɔ ha yɛnhyɛ no anim. Right, we're not very much aware of these stuff, and some people become very. I know some one of my clients, yeah. Your friends say you're calling 401k with your fair fidelity. You scared from taxes that would travel on Kwan and some koto, and she was surprised into you knew into the say so 401k tradition 401k now now go shim maybe I will best 100,000 and 200,000. And your 200,000 a won't. It's because after we taxes obviously you have less. And let's look at some pros and cons of tradition 401k no. So it says pro by lowering the taxable income, these deduction reduces an employee's total tax liability. right? Into me my example. Into yanka said a Kofi a year Juma and afi bia when you $100,000 the income sika wenya eno no. And or max it in the 401k, meaning say or the max the amount of bit team they go for 1k mu. I year 24,500. What the that amount in the gum in that year? What the that amount in the gum? So 24,500, you know. And because of this max, you know, a gum, you know, that year, no tax income I bet tax on a 75,500 and yet 100,000 no. So essentially what this simply means is that contributions you cannot so what tradition for 1k no you cannot with the a gumo no what your taxes are a tax deductible into at the end of the year of our taxes are it's deductible, right? So a borrow MRO essentially send mechano will lower with tax bracket because 100,000 and it's 75,000 are two different brackets, meaning so we treat a little bit less our taxes more. Now, some of the con or like some of the disadvantage, yes, say because say we treat taxes and also say you know, I just say we treat taxes later on. Into essentially you are going to pay taxes in the future when tax rates are unknown. Well, and you said, I mean, the America, we owe over $30 trillion in debt, right? So when I meet, you know, when I meet with my clients and a lot of financial professionals and economics, and they say that you know the taxes will go up because essentially, you know, we have to. There's a lot of factors that goes into why I'm on for the taxes because right. So essentially, if taxes will go up, simply meaning says that time I will use sika free the account no more no. That tax rate no was right. Essentially, more money, more of your money will go towards taxes. Alrighty. Now next, you will be a friend of Roth. Roth account. Now Roth account we know this this is different from tradition. So with this, you know, sikana yedigu account we mu into your Roth IRA. IRA stand for individual retirement account. Right? I don't think so I spoke. So let me my man and defining that a little bit more. You know, so IRA, a individual retirement account, and a what 401k. Now, when we know your retirement accounts, out with me a use. The main difference, ASF 401k no, and the adjumam and a dema. Into ya ye will be. So when you be gra or the kobusa, or call HR busom, says some more 401k. Now some more also saw no busum say more match. More match now at least we did that amount egum. Into 401k the adjuma and a dema. IRA the stands for individual retirement account. And this a while na okobie. Into betimi ne obi to say me financial advisor say me na ye bie ama. When we say wa na okobie. And the enye adwuma e bia obia na the bank account sika every bank now de egum. Nti rough no we ni the sika e call accounts no mu no. What you on taxes awie. Nti nyamboa okọ na untria taxes. Oh, my example, I know said Suffolk, Pastor Amo was not on here, but I had a meeting with Pastor Amo and he gave a great example. And I think say yeah, you move be brave to me, I related to it. Or could be a rough account, right? Now, and he was telling me that I think I was in that fear the roof. Here he needed money to fix the roof or no. And he took out he's got in a rough account in him and I could fix it in the roof or no. Because sika na wɔde egu mu no, right? Na wɔtua ho taxes awie no, oyi sika free mu no, wɔntwa any taxes. Well, so essentially, it helped him keep more money because he already paid taxes. And these accounts so it will market in him, so it will gain interest. It will be market exposed, so it will gain interest, right? So with Roth accounts, you're gaining interest. So essentially, it's tax after tax money. The NS kind of almost also would be BBI tax deferred. Then when you take out the money, that's tax free. So market gains are sikano yet tax free, income tax free. Now, what are some of the pros and cons? Pro or advantage, as said, you don't have to pay any taxes when you take some kind. And won't pay taxes be so you scan free map. Con, no upfront tax deduction. So sikana odi egumuno, ready at the end of the year where your taxes are, you can't deduct it. There's no deduction at all. But another con, be a friend income restriction. What that means, let's say, so we make it in 2026. That more income into so sika in that year. It bro $164,000 that year. Untimi MBA Roth account. And say I will file it as joint. We know that. Now mumienu combined musika boma mo making more than 224,000 untimi MBA Roth account. So there is income limitations. So those are the cons as well too. Inti Mr. Ma Mumaye say yeah, those of us that are on, I want this slide here ye pa Mr. Mo titu ye Ghana for. So say you better take note mun take note. When there's one to be and then this slide, Mr. Ma we a slide in here me ye into pacho. Mama pay attention to this slide. All right, so scenario number 1. Yao edu or D62 now or your nurse or your juma or hospital. And maybe I know big time nurse into sika unya 140 a year. And I will retire in October 2025. Nti sika wɔwɔ ne account mu nti wɔwɔ nkasa wɔwɔ $400,000 ɛwɔ ne 401k ne normal 401k no. But sena ye Ghana for, and this is something I am coming across with a lot of my Ghanaian clients. Yeah, you retire na ye address say e bia ye pese kosi dan and na ye business with Ghana. And it obi antimi stop where you sika. And house no free. Into which my go also call Chrome now your business, no. And then I say but and then maybe why we have to be very careful. Because I'm seeing this a lot and too many times, especially in the African community, not just Ghanaian, in the African community. Say you retire, you say you could use na I offend a lump sum. Now, say lump sum, there are consequences. There are consequences. So you're watching so could use seeking na into the for example, a Jayawi on the over $400,000 on the account him. And sika I didn't tell me to go. Whoa. Into no mush house I sika I didn't mean to go. Yes, so you sika over to my but there are some consequences. Right? Into one. Because said or yet older than 59 and a half, no. Or kwako yisika na onchia any penalty. But say anka woye younger than 59 and a half and maybe anka wo D58 and 55, 57 and sana. Anka kwako yisika na anka betria 10% penalty. Into this is for all retirement accounts. Into IRA, 401k, annuities, Pension is a bit different because pension the way that's structured, is a bit different because you have to work a certain amount of time to get it. Because if you how it be to me retire 50 no money, and pension is a bit different, right? Now, into Yanka said the year of 2025. Yeah, sure how much taxes I would try and how much um what he was taxed on, right? One, you better tax him on the income no $140,000 now when you're free adjuma. You better tax him no. Now you're taxing no so what $400,000 no so why you not just you sad 400,000 in no. In that year 2025 no sika a ɛbaa no bottom ɛna sika a yɛbɛcounted as income so ɔyɛ taxes into ɔde ne yɛsɛ fɛ saa so forms ne yɛfrɛ no sɛ 1099 ne W2 forms into ɔde kɔma ne CPN and tax preparers ɛte sɛ Mr. Oti Musa na ɔde kɔma no that year or make $540,000 that year. Mama, pay attention because I can't stress on how many people are doing this. That year, that's how much I will make it. So what that would do is say I bet trigger the highest tax bracket. Into amount I will be share our taxes munkwanya some kotoa almost half of it and will be share our taxes. Into say your share screen is so obetua about 35%. Into your 540,000 times 35% 189,000 and a call taxes in Kwamo. Uncle Sam, the ono if nefa or fire 185,000. Not the aka 351,000. Into from 540 to 351,000 per almost half of it went into taxes. Into what I tell people and say before into the way I just over retire. Now there why I just say kwako yiska every 401k more pension whatever before we your grandpa only be and only financial advisor send Montrase no one discuss it no one share what are some of the disadvantages or what are some of the advantages. Oh, yes, so an outside tax preparer, CPA, and the amount of your taxes. No, on so two people, tax, in fact, a financial advisor and a tax preparer. No, no, mon transfer, no mon math, no mon shemu ye, no mon make sure say we am person me ye, a bebo me ana, cause I usika, I know they are gum. And you worked hard for your money. So you want to make sure say you save and keep as much of your money as possible. So one of my recommendations I tell a lot of my clients is into to say, oh, maybe I will zoom you so. No, what the 50 at? What the 50? So 50 and up. You want to start thinking about retirement. You should sit down with an advisor. Sit down with an advisor and you look. So you're be at from age 50, 55 or corner, you're from pre-retirees. I can't retire. Do need advice and transfer. Now you talk about it. Then you do what's called projection. Into the say may retire at 60, may retire at 62, may retire at 65, may retire at 55. How is it going to be? Oh, Misika, Sika say in me here. And as you can also, it must say in the material taxes. Well, into the one of I'm very strict about that. We do 50, start thinking about retirement, and you sit with a professional, and you draw up a planner a bit to me about, because the more prepared you are, the earlier you can retire. America they said, yeah, and you careful. Obey your demand till so what the 80. And you also you're very careful and you plan accordingly. And one thing I could tell you is that America, why you're careful. Now why want to take some stuff into your own hands The state and the government will plan for you. And I can tell you, and I guarantee you that you will not be happy with the plan that the state and the government has for you. Wampo, ubenu, where you massa, so that's kind of baby. Ewo. I tell you, sit down with a professional, an advisor like myself, you sit, then you do a proper planner. All right, now, yeah, sure, scenario number two. Me, a movie rain. Oh, there we go. Yeah, man, son. Hey, retired nurse. Oh, I'm also retired at 62. So, well, yeah, nurse, and she used to make $150,000 a year. And now, and she also saw $400,000 on the Roth 401k. So notice the difference. Difference a woman is say on it there, a Roth. Into some name said Mokai the difference into way no Roth in it there. We use free my own share taxes be and so yeah, war on the DNA. Eja kofin edian say on way edian there or use car won't share taxes. Into ya eko yisika a free 401k in ma. Let's look at into on so obeso go sit down. Obeso ya apartment, obeso or yeah a decided a friend say farming, agriculture, obeso ya farming into was into on there or Ghana, right? Now, she would only be taxed on her annual income of $150,000. That's it. That is the only taxable income in this scenario. In this scenario, that's the only money you're taxing. Until let's say in the tax bracket you're 24%. Until you pay $150,000 times 24%, hey, $36. Hey, $36,000. Right? Into sika obenya a obekeep what will come in our pocket a year $114,000 in obenya. Now into under why na adwin so we use sika every month. Obetimi yi 400,000 every, right? Na say we and sika onya after we file taxes a year 114 no. Into yekaboma obenya $514,000 tax free. That's the power of Roth accounts. No taxes. All right. So it plays, yeah, you come in. So it plays a role. To me, ebwa ye pa. Right. So if you plan accordingly, not the earlier you start, the better. Why? Because over time, so kind of bit to me a grow. All right. Yeah, shit. Last scenario. Scenario number 3. Kwame Boateng, a pastor. Me like a pastor also and can think say the new bedroom. And you or a pastor and will retire at 67. Now a pastor no not or a net and a sika winya is $70,000 a year. And I will walk $250,000 on the 401k more. But on their advisor, on their financial advisor is shy, I could be a Roth account. And in the Roth account, I will say $350,000 it will. And let's do the math. Let's see how much he's going to take home after taxes. So maybe in 2025, will you $70,000 if in the 401k in you. $70,000 also trade on taxes, 20%. Into $14,000 in the bucket taxes. Not $56,000 about the bottom. Maybe out in 2025, so on there, on there be a software there on your agent so ko Ghana ko see be o ko business on there be o chile wa America kakra. Into 2025, was I oyi $100,000 if in a Roth IRA new. Now IRA no, Roth IRA no, and they won't on taxes some kaya because then the sika a woman who yeah won't taxes. Into sika beba no bottom take home money $156,000. So 56,000 now when yeah after we trade taxes no, not $100,000 in a free Roth account to him. Into essentially he would have more. But yɛnhwɛ adeɛ o. Nti yɛnka sɛ anka wɔne advisor bi anhyia, right? They don't know anything about Roth account. Nti on the only said the company no ɛde ma no. Nti ɔwɔ ne 401k. Na ayi yɛfɛn sɛ nkɔyii sika. Anka kɔyii sika free just 401k no ma. He wouldn't have that much money, right? So in this scenario, or actually better yet, let me say maybe let me scratch let's back up. Maybe well maybe a Jumano or 401k, but won't take advantage on participating, which you move so most of that's a lot of people. Your job gives you the 401k. Some people just don't participate in it. Into many BBI. Into in this scenario, ABI he would only possibly have $56,000 and that's it. Right? Whereas when you pair it up into so oh 401k no adwuma ma ubetimi a also ubie a Roth IRA as so na ɛno ɛbɛboa wo nti woka bom a because the adwuma mu de ma wo ɛne deɛ wakɔyɛ nti the ebi adwuma mu deɛ no deɛ also twa on taxes but the wakɔyɛ no deɛ nyamboa wokɔ akɔyi sika from a wontwa ho taxes so then you will have more income in retirement. Now, so for the next couple slides, a more of a side note, and no maybe I'm per se you didn't come kakra. So you will be a friend of roll over into you move your heart. Let say you jaya juma. Maybe a juma no a mile 401k. But and I'm saying you juma will be no. Right? Or 401k no ever. Right? It's associated with the company I used to work with. It might be the sponsor might be Fidelity, Lincoln, Voya, or whatever, but Ejumano is still associated with Sa Ejumano, right? You want to roll over. And to me, the Sa 401k now we'll work with UMass, we'll work with whatever group home, whatever. No. To me, I'll roll over into an IRA. No, there'll be a good IRA in him, right? Until you bet to me, they'll go Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. You have the choice to do that. So, which I highly encourage people. Say, be a Hana or old 401k. You definitely want to meet with an advisor like myself, and then talk about possibly rolling over into an IRA because IRA, it stands for Individual Retirement Account. Really, a good analogy, you say, maybe a young man, right? Suit, maybe I'm a suit, a shami, me free men's warehouse. Me call Virginia, I'm got toy men's warehouse. Into me call no, and me who me size. Into me who ya and I say me share because it fits me. Into be or how I hear the same size as me. Obey me the suit yasha. But say Oko Taylor. Maybe America ha. Maybe Italians for the money Jesus so. Say Oko Taylor no susua. Maybe our palm suit ama wo into our palm suit ama me kwamboache. Wa susu me mensa me nine baby I was susu kama and our palm suit no ama me. Sa suit ndo bia ntimi shebi. Ubetima sheba enko. I didn't try because I am your palm me. Into IRA, the same thing. It's individual. It's meant for work, right? And a 401k, you're more generalized. It's more employees. So be a juma or biana, which in this guy ego. Into that is a suit, send them a car. Into the free wa. Also do sika ego IRA no. Oh, because and also it's me boy, right? It can help with market volatility. Simply what that means in the say market send a you move say yeah yeah well 401k COVID buy you see it be some people lost money, right? Marketing costs are not bad form, right? But with a proper structured plan, you are able to mitigate and you are able to I wouldn't say eliminate, but mitigate and minimize that fluctuation and it says sika cost on the form, right? Until and so and here. A good analogy I says maybe what to every fear, right? My to down for fro. What to down for fro? Unya or couch in there entirely. You're not gonna leave it in your old house. You're gonna move it into your new house. So when you no longer work with a, you no longer work with an my friends say with an employer, you want to move it into an IRA into your new house, right? Now, wait there. This this is an off topic, very off topic. Maybe a presentation that basically me to, and I wanna share it with us because I think that a lot of us it will help us. You move a brain share that in you. It will be a friend of probate, but your mama ain't pay attention to this. Probate. So probate, the definition of probate is legal court supervised process of validating a deceased person's will. Sebi, God forbid, Sebi so free man, right? Court, your probate court. Ọmọ na ọmọ decide say sika we beko we ho, sika we beko we ho until 401k ne you know say we ni na sika say beko we ho. Yimu bebre ye Ghana for. And then it's not just your guy, for just a lot of your average American or your average citizen, you be a savings account, right? So or joint account or joint savings account, and that's a joint checking account today different. Say BBB etowa or year and I'm so year and that's ukun edin that so and I be o ma edin that so no. Sikana a wa account nim utimi abusuano etimi kom ekoyi. But say a beer, especially got or more Ghana. I shouldn't say as a Ghana for if you are a man, no, I could be a account to be behind the year echi. And I be also about to me, hey, and some more. But about to me be an account behind new currency. Let's say BBB at Toa. And I'm say Obia Edin and Nasono. Ukun Edin and Naso, my Edin and Nasono. Sika ewomono, abusiano will go through court, and that could take months or a year or possibly more. You go through probate court. So probate court and also approve it say, hey, me papa nie, hey, me yere nie, me nuaba say ni say nie. And someone will say, okay, yes, this is a relative of yours, and Sika not yet bema. But imagine pastor say be what free mu na wo sika wo account mu na o yere na o ma ehia sika right and so sika wo also so untimi mfa sanka because say na o yere edin na so and wo kru edin na so right. So this is something I want us to be very aware of. We have to be very careful. There are ways of avoiding this problem. So this is why, once again, you want to meet with an advisor. I will bet me know what chance and now we'll go through all other ways that I bet me about now why avoided this problem. All right, next. So question is, because I know that my title was, which one should I choose? So ideally, ubenya dia nukreni ubenya dia nimienu. That's the best. Raw or tradition 401k. The adjuman mawa. Nice. But on top of that, also additional investment or additional planning. Now it could be a Roth IRA, right? You don't want to just stop there because at the end of the day, and that could be a different topic for a different session. So about retirement, unfortunately, you move we don't know. The knowledge is not there. We just don't know it. You don't want to just rely on just a 401k. I could confidently tell you, say, so no why didn't say 401k no, and maybe so that's all you're relying on. You're going to be highly deceived, and you're going to be very disappointed. That's why a lot of Americans, Focal, Walmart, and Target, and all these stores, you see older people working because they did not plan well into omo retire sikanasa. So then they have to go back and work. So ideally, you want to make sure say, to me, if you can, you want to have both, right? But it's easier said than done because sometimes you can't afford to have both. Now, questions. Pese memebusa na say yes also were questions that either way you bet me I so one question nti Mr. Mo so uni mensa na what me ubetimi ayi ano about age of retirement ɛwɔ America ha but you must say in a new age a wotimi retire wɔ America ha so obi ankasa me but you must do we know you must say any new age you to me retire America. Right. So, all right. Okay, so be any no, I think I see the chat. Let me sure. ABC 62 and ABC 767. Okay. Okay. All right. So, oh yeah, because you can't unmute. I think the pastor set it, until you went to me unmute it. But yeah, okay, that's fine. The way he did it, no, I forgot how you told me. But that's fine. So yeah, 62, 67. Okay. But the answer to this question, as I said, retirement today, ultimately retire any age you be. You should you need age. You should need specific age. So where the 30, where the 40, where the 50, which me, I retire any age. It's just that most people say about, I mean, for instance, say you can retirement at Social Security na the first and about it, right? But that's not the reality, right? It's just you move no maybe we don't know. We team retire 50, 55, 40. I have some clients at 43 or retire. Why? Because so I'm not planning accordingly. Send a mechanic before no. So at the end of one you're careful. Now we jama a system no yeah government no. We jama government now. Omo there they will have you work till say be already 17 yeah there. Right? So we that's the issue. So you jai no why want to take some actions into your hand now, which you will work forever. Right? So the answer to that say is that we don't there's no specific age. It's just unfortunate that a lot of us say you can't retirement social security age now yeah by it. I be year 65 and 67. But my mission is me to okay, next question. ASN. So about and this could be a little bit vague. How many of us are comfortable with our retirement savings? This doesn't it doesn't you don't have to directly say it because on average, most Americans, your average Americans are very scared. And that's sad. They're very scared of how much they have for retirement because they believe that it's not enough, and that's why you see older people. It be to me, they have to work till say 70s and then your average American is very scared of how much they have towards retirement. And then lastly, question. This would be once again. This could be a little bit more rhetorical. So how many of us? I didn't type that right. So how many of us have a plan if we outlive our money, right? So what that means is send a Mikhail, a lot of people. Say ebi a yes, and I'm saying free and you bet me most of us yeah, I didn't say because you chrome. And I now said dollar in the cities, there's a big difference, And maybe we need about 1,000 a month to be out, yeah, okay. So, but with that, cry, we have to be very careful. When a lot of Ghanaian clients is share and African clients is share, you have to be very, very careful. With that mindset, it could cause a lot of issues. Yeah, almost a Uber to Chrome. Yeah, and it did, of course. But Sebi, God forbid, Oko Ghana, not be a Oko Yare. And I Yare be, Yare be to most likely Uber by America. And I hope you do come to America. Because the reality is that the healthcare in America is better than our country. It's sad to say, but that's the reality. But America now no. Healthcare and all that hospital visits now, no. Nti me ne Ghanafoɔ ahyia me dɛ masi dan mewɔ asase mewɔ this and this and that and that. Yeah, of course, and then they me ase as you should because kurom no yeah what about America what benyeska um you want to build and do something back home. But keep in mind say be anything could happen, right? And so yeah what say oh about America ha. Na ebia say abusua, someone passes away, something happens. Women also plan it accordingly, right? Yeah, yeah, it's a big issue. But sure, my main participation, my main sure if I could unmute the people so you guys could more some booster beer. But you mutimi unmute. Oh shit, man. Shit. Unmute themselves. Okay. My But your can you make my try? Will be waiting me unmute your mama try.
Afei deɛ wayɛ.
Okay.
Yeah. Not pastor Esther turn up in such a way. Okay. Until but you say asembusa say you move be ya or asembusa or ube to me abusa.
Mepa akyɛw. Sese mpɔ mmerɛ fi. Deɛ ɔkaeɛ sɛ bia wo save wo sika behind wo yere anaa wo kunu a na sɛ biribi to wo a ɛno deɛ mede to so sɛ yɛ so true. Mene obi na ɛyɛ adwuma wɔyɛ broni ɛna ne kunu no ewuiɛ. Na ne kunu no save ne sika nko. Ɛna ɔno nso save ne sika nko. Enti bɛrima no ewu. For the past 2 years ni wakɔ court a watry. Still ano sika no ɔmo mfa ma no. Enti ɛyɛ very difficult sɛ wanyɛ nhyehyɛeɛ a. Na me question ne sɛ bi a nipa mmienu no nyinaa mo be save abom. Na wo be hu a na baako ayi sika ne nyinaa. Na no nso no wo bɛyɛ ne den. Kyɛ sɛ okoyi w'animra ho so no na sika na ebi nim. Na wo bɛyɛ den. Kyɛ sɛ
Hey, my radio. Question really more Drew. I think from a professional point of view, I mean there's some stuff you have to it becomes a little bit more personal and you have to sit down and talk with the couples, But I know said different banks, every bank is a bit different. Because the normal banks be waha, depending on amount of year free mono, or mama alert. Nti bi a uni ukru ewo joint account na say oba na say be na yi a large amount of sika alert will go to the other one. But you mean say yeah, that makes a little bit sense.
Oh, that and na sa madam fiam no ye adwuma broni ama scanner lock no. No pa kire say or diska guma na be ma no e use no too much.
Yeah.
And oye na adwin say ne on fa ne sika momu bio. To be save ni de no ono so save ni de. And unfortunately be ma no ewu. And be ma no wo sika on account. And Sabri ono so only be na he need the money, but he's finding difficult to get it. And you know, say omo ma let there na ne e be e beboa.
But on top of that is also one thing I will bet to me I say ubie account utimi your baby TOD transfer of death. It is or DCU, Santander, Bank of America, whatever it is, no. Okoha, no buso more about TOD. Now, what that is that utimi ede ebi awoba, and I say obi edin etoso se bibi toa. It's kano etimi call send back no. Indeed. So that's a one way of avoiding that situation. If any TOD. Into ya no moko banker we will some about TOD now and how it works. Right? So if you have more questions, I will be to me reach out to me na you no home come.
That's it.
In Asma. But your any other questions?
Me pacho so be my idea message be someone.
But your go ahead.
Rover no.
Uh-huh.
The ebia for one can roll over to private individual
IRA.
IRA na.
Mm-hmm.
They still consider it say you take the money off.
So that's a very good question, Ma. So roll over. We use scanner. Uchimi, there's a couple ways that you know. So we roll over Sikano from until the yanka say or Usika or Fidelity, right? A Jumano, na honewo. Maybe a uyi akọ be a Lincoln, and now what they call a different institution. So roll over no because I institution to institution. And it there untria tax, untria penalty, a roll over. But this is where you have to be very careful, and you also when professional say ABA or make a mistake, no more church check to the mama mean you to Margaret, no more church checking it to Margaret. And no yeah withdraw or my church checking amount. At that, ubetria penalty net taxes. So much checking the mawa. But so much checking Emma IRA company now this kako gumuna. And it there won't any penalty be a institution to institution. Right? It's a good question I'll be side because if you make the least mistake, you might end up being penalized. Minim say me here no. Me say me the brofono. Trina do ana bana
I say me that's the power yeah no.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, now, made it add to it and they say at the end of the year, no, who fare tassa, sa roll over now, oh, yeah, no. Are they going to say, you cash the money or whatever, so they add it to your income and tax
No.
you?
So Uro send me kind Uro over from one company to one company now. Omo add Debbie.
Now, say, ABI, the same company, and they 401k. That's all per se. We'll changing it to RIA. And a roll over and answer saying, send or more consider.
And also say yeah, nti bia yenga se fidelity and our 401k no wa. Now
Mhm.
so oba so be IRA with fidelity and also omo penalty and it's just from 401k rolling over to an IRA.
Mm.
As long as it's a roll over, not withdraw. Withdraw no na also we careful because withdraw and the work catch them so we use sika. Roll over and the work catch them so who use who first sika no free 401k no akogu IRA no. Right.
Mm.
Nti ene de yeah omo penalize. But
Nope.
nina usually the mayor say also when you obi a oni mu because you
Yeah.
who make you the least mistake wait me penalize.
Yo, me that's it.
That's man. Good questions. Good questions. But yo, Obi so how or any other question? Boy, eight in a eight.
Mr. Boache, Yedawasipa Nyume
Mm-hmm.
for the presentation. It's very insightful. Now, me pese me bisa say, me medumam no number 43B.
Mm-hmm.
Is it pre-taxed or is so me reach me age now after 59 and a half years and not say me ko yiska na wom na will I still be taxed? I thought say they told me say it was a pre-taxed.
So the answer to that and say a Roth 43B and to be a Roth ADNIMU ROTH and
Mm-hmm.
no and those accounts are there ukwako yiska uncha taxes. Say ROTH ni any anymore a pre-tax into the and the ukwako yiska ubetria taxes. It is a ROTH ni anymore a tradition regular 43B. Now, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't be I want to clarify. So 59 and a half or no. And
Mm-hmm.
no say wo call ako withdraw sika. Uko yiska every month. Na be a wadi 50, 55, any age before 59 and a half. Uko withdraw and obetria 10%
Penalty.
penalty.
Okay.
But ultimately take loan so loan we take loan na and the obetria interest rate. Untra penalty, obetria interest rate. And she said a saa 59 and a half or no that rule no and it applies for nini na uko yiska every mu withdraw out the why wadron say wuntra ne back it doesn't matter say your Roth tradition or whatever and they obey face that 10% penalty no before age 59 and a half no because essentially send on my end and say at the end of my end is in a way a bit wow into what on my end say na for you yisika or more retire they won't have any money.
Mm,
And they do it in such a way to help us ourselves out.
okay.
Meaning,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
You're clear. That's
And that's my. And but your obi so how or a asembuse bia.
Ɛyi Kwame dase paa me mekɔɛ no sisia na meba.
Oh, okay.
Ɛyi nti menim nea waka ne nea wonkaeɛ. Saa 59 no a Aunty Millicent kaeɛ no. Ɛm sɛ okay, sɛ wopɛ sɛ ɔkɔbɔ mu bosia how does it work? The traditional a 413B no. Sɛ wopɛ sɛ ɔkɔbɔ mu bosia now woyɛ 59 and a half na. Yeah, no musa say, do you still work for an alcohol with Rock? Do you still work for the same company? To be a musa a question to us say. So when your company, when your mama company na can you withdraw? Would if you say 59 and a half na? And I say, nya withdraw but this time you work for the company. You just want to borrow. Do you have to pay taxes?
Okay. So
There are two questions, Makabo Munti.
yeah. Let's address the first question though. So in terms of working with the company, so if you don't work with the company, you can still take money. You could take
Okay.
money in the form of withdraw any withdrawal before age 59 have it doesn't matter say, if you work for the company or not. And it will be 10% penalty no withdraw.
Okay.
But bosia loan in the form of loan no, loan in there, yes, to me, even if one year for company now, take your loan out, but
Okay.
interest rate.
What's your interest rate?
Which it's not that bad sometimes.
Yes,
But
yes. Minim sɛ nyɛ wo na ahyɛ woyɛ saa mmara no na nyɛ korɔ no bɔ mea me sika a masɛvu kyɛ sɛ aban no bɔkɔ mea me sika a masɛvu ama mo ɛna me ho akyerɛ me na mesɛ momma me bi now na mensa ntua maadeɛ ntom a ɛna sɛ wogye me ho tax.
So it's actually one of the perks in the pastor. So sikana uchiano unchia ma obia uchiama ho
metua ma me ho he
plus interest into interest and also still would be tria go account in him.
na me wo sika no bi anka mɛbɔ ɔbosea
Dear. And it is now kind and it means until my yeah no sir. But that's how it is. But to Uchia and Tibia will give us 5,000 now after BBI interest account by 5,500. Udi Guma, you could put it back into your own account, but it's the what can I say? What? Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, sorry. So obi pɛ sɛ ɔbɛma mu.
But I,
Yeah. Kwame, nyame nhyira wo paa.
oh, Marco, see.
Media no wɔ te sɛ de pasa kan no sika no ɛyɛ media. Aso koraa aso sɛ mekɔgye. Ɔmo se me yi nsanto baabi anti sa ɔmo efi hɔ ɔmo fa bibi deɛ sɛ ɔmo fa bibi nka ho ɔmo fa bi nka ho bio.
Okay.
Na minim sɛ da hɔ ɛda hɔ ɔmo timi san te so ana sɛ ɛda faako no sɛ ɛnwo a ɛso timi so san te.
So, good question, ma. One, it be what high, it depending on amount a womb. Say amount in shada and no swan. Or much me the go automatically, it be how much the or more to me the go IRA mu amount. Until you be my own clientele, my answer 401k nom they go IRA amount. Now, if you also say amount no and shada and no some be asa almost send your letter say brabe. Right. But say I didn't say you wa sika. Nti wo dey say why you adren say umpese sika no wa account nim. Now we are okay with penalties na. Utim ko yifrim. Mo. So to answer a question, most of the time it depends on amount a womb. Because most of the time say if you have if you best 1,000 beer and I say 2,000 beer and it there on better makasa bro brabe use cano. Right. But say be a bill I do so most of the time because I didn't at the end of company no and a manager cano. And he said if they see that, and I'm they no me come home me manage this kind of as well. So I understand how it is. So if they see that okay, if this really won't be as beneficial, I'm going to make I just so there because I know some fidelity. I mean, if I work a lot with fidelity, into a bill I'm a client to be say almost send no best at 1,000 into almost sending this guy and say you have this amount of time to come and take the money. And to answer a question, most of the time it depends on how much it was accounting. Meaning say me you are not.
Pacho me das na ba ko so wom sɛ no de am sɛ wan kyerɛ anko hɔ papa na ayi mate sɛ aban sɛ bi a ɔno ɔma wo te sɛ mass health ana sɛ medicare no na eduru baabi a nurse bi a maya abrewa na de bi omutimi eka se edan a wato no omutimi ebefa na say bibisa.
So
they have access in your property.
So the knowledge that I have on that, your favorite long-term care. Long-term care a bit different, which yeah, Ghana for most of the time we don't face that because ABI ain't so sebi Arabia to and now you're going to live in how do you feel say residential and nursing home. Those that So Medicaid, I believe, and Medicare and Medicaid. Medicaid is a bit different. So sometimes to get Medicaid, you have to deplete your assets in Massachusetts. So sometimes to get Medicaid, you might have to deplete your asset, and that could be a dino, because that counts as your assets, right? So I know, sir, Papa, be one of my clients, Enra, and Monday, Juma, I was working with him. When they say, "Oh, catch him," I say, Enoch, I don't want to go to a nursing home. I want to be able to stay in my house. If in case something were to happen to me, I want to have people come to my house and take care of me, right? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Until when they say we got long term care insurance, nti ɔno say nti sɛ say even if sɛ biribi bi to no a ɔbɛtumi atena afie a ɔbɛnya sika a ɔmode bɛma no bosomi biara a ɔde sorry every day biara a ɔde bɛtua medical professionals a ɔmɛbɛ ne fie and because sɛ wɔwɔ saa no ɔkipo ne asset ne fie nti ebi anka wɔni saa long term care na ɔkɔ nursing home a sɛ na wɔkaeɛ no wotumi lose wɔ asset a ɛyɛ wo dan ɔmutumi fa dan no equity na ɛwɔ mu no in the state of Massachusetts they could take that in order for you to get nursing homes and what's it called skilled home refidino yeah
Nursing home,
yeah nursing home
and that's
yeah
assisted living.
That's the assistant living, yes. Yeah, it's a good question. And it is all kind that's a different topic I made to me. I am more lesson on that later on. Cause usually for me, yeah, most of the time, me dream say yeah Ghana for no, so I know man there, yeah, entire go through cause so me ma me say me ma me be sa to na oba be time and check me fa no nursing home. But they say nkra ma ba ma dream share na it's the same. To also shene ye nkwa ya wo mo ha no.
Ame ayarahusam o, wo de wo ayarahusam pa o.
Also shene ye cause one share omo de obekọ nursing home.
Aha.
And this is so nursing home ne board dem pa ne board dem pa. And so yeah, that's something I have to do more. Also me to me yeah Ghana for on how to avoid that and to pay for that as well. Because most of my clients, I'm funny there. Omo de omo nim say omo nyina omo nim baby omo kɔ. Nti ene de me know omo share long term care insurance in there omo de omo ton say baby because omo nim say omo hia. But yeah Ghana for usually yeah I mean yes because most of it be high ibeko or the no beko Ghana hopefully or the beko Ghana at least. Now so omo Ghana ba sure. But yeah, good question, man. May not that cool. If Pastor gives me the opportunity, I'll come back and I will expand more on that.
That's pa.
Epacho no kasa ho question na emre bi na mehwe maame bi. O say no my old. Enti ne dan no, one ne dan no. O say ọtọn ama ne ba panyin no enti no na chi say free ọmụdin mu ọka chem say after 5 years no EDS wo ye de wom kọ nursing home a government no enti menye dan no because o de kọ ne ba panyin din mu nti omuwu a na ne ba panyin no ton a na wache ska na ma siblings no ne mani nyina enti no mintumi hu say that still work and assessing say instead say on pese aban befa ɛdan ne nti no na watransfer wahyɛ da sɛ watɔn ama ne ba no on paper nti no yɛde ne kɔ nursing home he doesn't have any access and the government have to take care of them. Is that true?
Yeah, so asset all kind that's just transfer of assets to the kids. But to take a step further, I'm not for no, and no maybe I mean, omukrom until no maybe or mama or mashisha. You will be a friend of trust. That trust, simply put, trust is a how do I simply put? I had to say a entity of itself. And it's very similar to the mamene here now. Our day a dino a corny bad demon. Obey de sa a dino I could trust in him. And that will depend on the type of trust, irrevocable trust. That will take the asset every on the demo. Into on paper, send our kind on paper, a dino dear and then a dear. Into so or qua omuntimi say be or connection home. Omuntimi enje dino because in need him. Into amafo timi a bit to me yes sir. Omuntimi de a dino to trust him. And maybe also omuntimi send our kind or transfer to their kids. Yeah, that's a very good. That's a very good question.
Na no so no na edu baby at senya wo kan se o mfa ma me nkọ na si home. Ba nkwala na ya wo mo ha ne de ahwe o de obekọ no bebre de obekọ. Enu nti no se wo ahwe ni yensu na when you are still there no we de call ni din mu a obetimi aton adi minim lawyer bi a na yire ne papa ewuja o maame enti enam so ono na ye lawyer edan mienu a o papa dija o maame nyina maame ne hunu ye na waton ni nyina di akọ casino
Wow.
amana asa enti nkosi koda wo de kwa oba ni din mu for say bi kura BBC na say won't take care of you where the all this can what they are no na say no
na temage say as if huma de kosoro o doji aban no na oba no so doji wo.
Yeah. I think the man where they were you want.
Okay. More o can't trust in the magnet about BBC. Now, send a make kind book be. You need be the tray in Kai. It's my Kai author now. Now, no, can't say me woman. Name on Kakra say most Jews, Jewish escafo pan. They don't open bank account. And or say, don't even open or say, don't ever open bank account in your name. They must set up a trust. Now the trust a be ISO business. How do you be your account be? But no can be said in that way. No, you can avoid taxes. Yes, a chronon walk. Yeah, not take your mommy say it is ampa. Sign it here.
Yeah. So with the time, I don't know, sir. It's up to you.
Oh no, we 8:30 actually.
Oh, 8:30. Okay.
Oh, yeah, not Q&A no caucus 8:30. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to respect the time. Okay. So essentially trust, you're more who do me. You will be a friend revocable and irrevocable.
Okay.
Now, a trust, a simple definition of a trust, it's an entity of itself. It has a social security number.
Okay.
NIPA, right?
Okay.
Now, revocable no, and no what also known as living trust. I brought also TRC, which means the dying at the asset gold, BBI, whatever, which means at the gum. Right? And to send our kind, your check, you could put it in a trust. Your savings, you could put it in a trust. Right? But to avoid taxes and now all kind of income taxes are there, you still, there might be income taxes as long as that, especially in the especially if in the trust. So if you put like a brokerage account and an investment to be guma, now uko yiska, right? The trust made money, so there might be income taxes in that because there's income that came out.
Okay.
The tax that I believe he was talking about, estate tax.
Oh, okay.
Estate tax, a bit different, and this is something that me when we have time, I want to talk about that because you move yeah, Ghana for yeah, we're buying houses, our estate is expanding. Yeah, sure that any the more houses that you buy, the more estate that you're going to have. And in the state, Massachusetts is one of the toughest states to live in. It's very expensive. Say bibi eto na ofiri mu a taxes a or loved ones betria, especially so omo wo bibi a friend no marital deduction. Nti say bi yanka se me na maware na mafiri mu a me yire etimi enya me estate no abra won twa taxes and a marital deduction. But say bi se me yire efiri mu a me ma any mabusua those omo na surviving ones no omo na be face estate taxes. In Massachusetts, on the federal level, I believe say if your estate is above say 10,000 million, which will be facing almost like 40% in taxes. And now on the state levels also, if your estate is above 2 million, we'll be facing 16% in taxes. And when you move is like, oh, 2 million there, but keep in mind your house, the value of your house every year it appreciates, and every year so we pay down the mortgage, the value keeps going higher and higher. You owe less, so that means say your estate is expanding, and it could be to the point maybe you walk 3 decades you're using as investments in idea no. That value maybe I will turn off, and now it's worth 1 million. Maybe I watch ya wow Sufian offer. That's worth like 1.5 million. You have reached that threshold, Say bitoa and I'll be bitoa or no yera. Loved ones on bet you 16% in just taxes.
Okay. Okay.
So I think so, but so to avoid that estate tax, what me the ufie and our assets will be what me the good be a irrevocable trust. Sa irrevocable trust in it there, sika and our asset, whatever it is that you put in that, that irrevocable trust and it's not part of our estate until you would avoid paying estate taxes. Right? Into other
Tax.
people.
Now tax the now between no.
And no, I know tax. I mean, depending on what's in it, so you might face income taxes.
Tax,
Yeah,
okay.
your investment, but about estate taxes, so I think the trick is jeopardy. What jeopardy?
Yeah.
That about that taxes on that in there, irrevocable trust in it there, and it there, won't estate taxes ever anymore.
Yo, me that's a part just say o man we nam sentina escafo ni bi no dodge taxes akese bebrebe no.
Oh yeah, so they have ways.
Yo nema hudu bebrebe ho a ayi ebi a ye kosusuasua we mi gi se bie ni pa. In fact wo ka say me gwen say ayi Kwame elda fo bi wo so. Na Dr. Bwampong so so na mu say ono so say wote ase pa ebi e say da ko ye panel discussion. Na yebusa mu nyina bia de mu nyina to so yebusa mu nyina questions say seems say we wealth of knowledge we your community no we haven't tapped into it. So na it's about time say e bia yesu nyama ya esese ete saa nema we ase na interest bia just interest benefits bia wo mu no yensu yetimi nya bia fi say yam say ya nyini de yam say ye wesiska o ya hunu ne ma bi antimi am ye sika ho ban papa ama wunyini duro certain age na we say oh I wish I could minim sa ne ma nyina nti damwase se mo kire saa nneɛma yi emu.
Absolutely. Me know you dream, Pastor. So me say Pastor and Pastor me know auntie. Anytime that panel is possible, I am more than happy to help. Send all kind. I agree. So my clients, I've been blessed to have different demographics of clients, and I know maybe we're hot. Almost send all kind of it's got fun. They know, right? And they know how to avoid paying taxes and where to hide money. You could put some money in LLC and all this other stuff, and nobody real how bit to me. I but there's some stuff, and maybe also some people it might be too late, but it's not impossible. But you could also pass down this generation. I mean, this knowledge to the next generation, right? And there are some even a 401k, yeah, I'm a kind and the Roth accounts inside normal. And normal, there are ways that a bit to me, I save your hard earned money. Because I did, yeah, pa, and say, Usika. Wow, so now, Usika, while working hard for it. Not Uncle Sam, I've been for almost half of it. Right. So there are, yeah, and to me, no, yeah, dream pastor. I believe there's a lot of ways that you bet to me aboard your community, It's just a mom betting no more and then you'll be I think so I am on board with that idea, big time. So I don't mean say
Yɛda ase paa Nyame nhyira wo.
you know
Ah,
but you obi but you ma Millicent Boache Amanen so. And
Yeah, Mr. Boache, yeah. Me paucho me di kakra ka o presentation me so me a financial agent. Na
okay.
me suggest say another portfolio bi nso a ye betimi asewu sika wo ho na ya compound interest say emfaso abaso amayen a si ekoyi sika wo ma yentua taxes ya nya yen nyina ye ka taxes ho asem ba konso ye life insurance. Mehu sɛ yɛn ɛsɛ sɛnea woka no yɛn no yɛmu bebree yɛka life insurance a ne yɛdwen sɛ bi a sɛbi obi bɛfiri mu ansa na wanya access to that money, but there are other life insurance with living benefits, meaning sɛ while a yɛte ase yi koraa no yɛbɛtumi anya sika bebree wɔ mu na yɛsɛwu yɛ sika wɔ mu a mmerɛ so sɛ yɛgye sika wɔ mu a yentua taxes and no so ebia say you dream ho na ebia de eno so eka ho medase
Yeah, and so yeah another way.
Amen.
Anti Millicent says you
mepatwa
also daaching obe present bi ama ye.
you
mepa
pastor
Asma wo kan sisi a no me das pa. Say I'm not advocating say ye loopholes a yentua tax and the auto man na your man ba so tua tax. But in me bo ho a ya na wunnim te say the Anti Millicent kan yi. Ben fie 9 Minya sika bia na menwene ho. The ne menim. Okay. Me ne me wife ye life insurance bi. Na ye no be I'm say 2000 I said 2002. And the area akwa bi ba fie ha na wo pono na broni bi ne ne trans. Ne yɛ mpɛsɛ bɛyɛ kora na ɔyɛ ya na yɛ yɔ. Enti ba fie mi nsɛm wɔ ha na ɔmo twrɔ me sɛ akabosome na ehu. Na me say Nam ka say life. No, I'm say 20 a term of 20 years. And I'm say, oh, let me name sa anyway. Tomaka kan na no nam say enji na manwi no so no ntimenya de. And almost almost say ya no. And almost ye pay man can say a mature the payout to about 4,000 something. And it is a 20-year term. And it is a bewu, yet it says, can I rampa no more de breme. Nam say, hey, I didn't am cast me to agu. Ah, man, wo, yam family babusia for. And ti omodi bisa breme, and teacher say, Sa nema we no, minka say tuya na engu ni family, but Sada Moken, the antiqua me kobusa muno. Well, na mimi busa man sana minya letter, say. I learned say there are different kinds. Now some me na menim. I be wo after some time obetima ko bomu bosia kora. Nje no na me ko busa say na metima bomu bosia no say ebewu. Nje wu I say na be brought back. Which sabran de je me ho ye me hakakra, but I think that again I want to advocate seriously say we need to educate our members. Yet krom ha na NASDAQ for ebre 20,000. So can life insurance obi ambeso beti kura. If you say him say ya insure ho NASDAQ you know. Biso a NASDAQ you know unnim de beto akire. Nyame mpemuni ho a ohire no ma. Anasa said okay no say ebi wo ho a wo ya na duru ba bi na betima ko withdraw kura frim ko bombo se amon kire na ya said okay the hard earned money no for giving in edi.
Yeah, and see, radio mama get minister Oman as memo wakasa. One thing I just want to talk about real quick for like 2 minutes or 1 minute. So I mean, I work with life insurance company with a life insurance firm, Messiah Investments in the idea. I'm a big advocate for life insurance. I have no kids, I have almost 2 million of coverage. But they may to me this is an issue I see in our community, African community. But you have to be very careful with who you do business with and the company that you do business with. I've been doing this for almost 5 years, and I have seen and heard all kinds of stories. Life insurance, the idea in here, no doubt about it. Especially if you put in a trust, the idea in here. But ABM also you're very, very careful because sending up pastor can send Pacono and structure ye. Now I'm wo sika na ye wo de ano wo wan te ase ya wo ye wa adwen se wo kwakọ use care free mu no afi na mbaka sika say na wom any say intimate I am very because I'm an investment advisor. I do investment me your whole portfolio in idea. So when you use life insurance as an investment, you have to be very careful on how you use it. Also to me as if you're explaining to a 2-year-old so that they understand, because sometimes it's new, a new language, and no member I So I am not agreeing with life insurance. I'm a big life insurance guy. I love it. There's a financial guy, be a friend, Dave Ramsey. He's a Christian financial advisor. I love him. On the life insurance is no better cry, but I'm the opposite. I'm a big fan. But the I'm an honest guy. You have to be careful because some people have taken advantage of our community, and I have seen it, and it has broken my heart. Mama get ready about your fache. Ubetimi ebusa question.
Me patron nan pastor kan. Me ti send ya okay ye true pa. Life insurance no. Me ye ba for me who send me kro ye bia for 10 good years. Send that 10 years na that's all. 10 years no so ye no. Ye nya hwe, wo ma me ye hwe, eno an say ye nya hwe. Pastor de uti ye na nya bibi. Enti no, me who say Mr. Boache, where you know New York Life, that's so. And who working for them?
But I
and me want life insurance or but the you know term no na me pese ewu me nya dia me renew no say me retire ntinya dia me renew the you know term no bio no say no nya dia minim say me nya bibia for all this year and now 10 years right
15
yeah
years, so we renewed.
I term no enti no mo ma ya hwe wo ho
so wangu
the man, the bit my number, me. Nah, you do one come on more.
Whole life ne dear. Who said money at a pie and a mama ketua bizika ketua bi na was whole life no tini board into to me and yakase. No one man said that time no dear no mama more money. Na dear medre ya me married there. Beden metretu asa ka enti no mama ya hwea omo frem kura me fi wo omo frem ya omo se me nya app New York life no me put app na me nya incentive bi e course ne me nya so I don't do it enti no me fro
But yeah, from me number, my fine, but me the better screen is so we were a BI wait my Uncle Joe, but you attend so I'm on so.
Yes, Kwame. Yeah, I mean, sharp, addition or the Amay in and near Antimage kind of make a craft for who said, well, said, let's see, I say, already pie was so. Who young person be also. But this is a less nanka. Nipa ebetimi anya ho mfaso anya adesua wo mu kese pa no young people no but they don't want to hear this enti ye twan ya ye bedi 40 50 no na fe na sani aye kan na fe na bi a wadwen life insurance ho say oka say okoye whole life no anti mage se mo ni atipa de o ya no wa kitu ba enye insurance one na be ne kitu so oka so ya ne kesi amawa odo paycheck nyina na be tu asa de ba sani akwa make so oka so no wa ye bi about say 2 million at a young age you can get a very big amount and pay less so starting in term one enti ye money ye nananom no any sound come away. Yeah, there's any pastor can in Abia, you movie, ya may say this opportunity, but almost no better na groom hatching. Yeah, and that's a boy, Abia, you might as well the back or shut down for it. Almost no better na groom had no more chair, no more, you no more mad action. This is dedication and a year, so almost I say. A dream home the home come on. I mean, we have some young people saying they have started very good investments. A very strong and a very boa modachi. Inti yani money and no every school no masha say juma sikano ebo monsem say no. In income or more adam for more mate in the requirement. They can sit down and we can all talk and do things a very boa modachi. So the pastor kind a very big education but no cremu partner say ye community crowd ya ni empathy but nyame adom kakra emu bi ba mi ogidi say dey ya da chinti ase no be adwuma mayen na ye so yetimi anya mu faso that's
Thank you, Uncle Joe.
Unaweza kama me abua kakra.
Yeah.
One pony. I know
doctor.
We've met many times. We've spoken about sad way. Me personally, I like to kind of me curious about those kind of investment, you know. Opportunity be am de menye bia no. So obi you not doing say or some of these products and also some of these companies or person making come mediana me 30 no. Na me no say I will say I have almost from 529 to almost what the form of any Americans are at least one or the other, and I have some form of account. Uncle Joe credit madam I have an IUL true or no, any other form of insurance. But the American say we are here can say a big investment. Now then me personally the man margin cause I think so you mentioned one guy, Dave Ramsey. I listened to him a lot. And another guy, Robert something, on YouTube. I listened to that guy a lot. Now, the Americans said they made a very simple analysis. Out of curiosity, and I'm a investment calculator, online. And I just put in simple figures with a 10% rate of return. And I was surprised to see after 30 years or 25 years, just putting small amount consistently, being disciplined without me wanting to boom this year. After 25 to 30 years, the amount nice. I was shocked. The question was I said, which means every Ghanaian now bet now kruma, which means now no more over 25 or 30 years consistently year you man. I don't think that we should all retire broke. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I just was like, wow. Which means that if we are very disciplined now, we should be able to retire like very happy. Say even you need social security corona. I felt that if we can take advantage of the system now, but the sad thing is that Ayana in Ghana for no, most of the time. The backroom you need to adi huna kese. We want to do big things in back home. Like I say, yeah, but I want to and it looks like we are in competition with other folks. And we tend to spend the money on unnecessary stuff, excuse me to say.
No, yeah.
Scar and give it to media to baby ama so abam for so ama we end up wasting that money. But the truth is that you don't need a big money to start.
Yeah.
The small amount that you put down over time, the power of compound interest, just the interest alone is like about 8 times the amount that you actually put down. Just allowing that long years for the money to grow.
Especially when your dividends is also account.
Yes, I will encourage people say, especially the more youth from they are working on. Just encourage them. Say they have to think about the future. Many times, Ghana young folks, they're thinking about the latest phone and the nicest cars, and some of these things. But Anna Are to see Ghanaians, I have will be at Nakuma bear 40 years. I've already a dream retirement that I've already or con, or because some of these things we never paid attention to. But I made us say, and I'm hoping that we will all learn. That's
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Kind, I agree 110%. He's yeah, no credit, yeah, 110%. Unfortunately, we have seen some people that did not prepare well and the consequences. But yeah, and so really, I
Yes.
think thank you. Thank you for this
Yes,
opportunity.
yes. That's a pa Kwame. Any other Kwame bande. Yɛde Nyankopɔn ase sɛ n'adom nti yɛsua. I'm say 2 weeks ago, I saw Penny Patrick Phoebe started a similar presentation. It's just so amazing. Na last week I saw twice. And I'm saying maybe we're free and I may be share. And the other Phoebe, where when I was Saba. I'm saying, Yama win where somebody boy. I wish saying Kamesan 1998. Now, me started for as a young pastor. Not yet to Ghana. Now, a year be a stewardship. Na sabre no na kakra me minim. It was that time I'm encouraging for say monto dan yo. Ebinum ka kire me at that time say sofo. Wo de agama yiri nya Ghana ni ndi na we kan sa. Ye tu bata o ya ni bata. Emu bu be kire me. Ya metena ha ikwam ne ade. Ebi wo ho a esi wo mukuma. Wo manum ka sa asem bi kire. Ebi so wo mote ha da so me no mu nyina da so tia. Wo se ye ba ko mu nyankoi. Na ya no ye nyina na ye ba na ye na ba kusi ha na ba kusi ha. Oh pastor, mo turuntu na maame bi bae. Eno se ti yedi nkoma na me se mama na o se me de me ha nyam do pastor. 10 years pe na mko. Oda so tia. Ne ba wo aware. Ne ba wo nana. Anyina ne ba ba wo no kurum ha no. Wa ware awo nana. Maame no da so ti kurum azi wonkoe. Enti de ye ka kire sei no. Oma yentase no se madwema ehia pa yebre na yebre ndi Kwame me nyame nhyiraw you will come again said me can this is open a public domain media I believe in knowledge and me listen Matthew said no I'm what you want to me first time ni ndi ba betwon na I'm say ana ofere kakra ndi na me mfa mo so enti no ya betwe da ko na mo nyina obi a de ni mo say de kro na ba obi a ba o de free angle bi na eba it is asofo nan e preachi ewo eyi K ni Abel obi a de free angle bi na ni nyina aboye erade nhyai ene de besi ni ti mebo mpaye na yehira so memo mpaye Yehowa enhyira nka odin se wode wakoa nso beka ye ho ne na Obaba niema hudu bi mu a addition to a body of knowledge say adie so nam wo ma so kyerɛkyerɛ ma yɛntiase na yɛsrɛ sɛ ma yɛmfa afutu asɛm a wɔ mu no yɛn ankasa yɛmfa nyɛ adwuma yɛmfa ma yɛ mma na yɛnananom ɛsiane sɛ yesu nya mmaeɛ a yɛte kuro mu na ɛsɛ sɛ biribi wɔ mu a ɛbɛboa yɛn na yɛtirase ayɛ ha kakra wadom ti fa kyerɛkyerɛ yɛn na ma yɛ ɔpɛni mfa nyɛ adwuma hyira dwumadie yi so hyira wakɔ a na wode nimdeɛ brɛ yɛn so yesu din mu na yɛsrɛ wadom amen ne nuanom deɛ de bɛsi yɛ ne nyame nka yɛ ho nyame yɛ adoma na wɔtweɛ sɛnnɛ ɛbɛhyia yɛ nyinaa wɔka nyamsɛm wɔ baabi nti me na mekorɔ no ɛne akra mo nyame nhyira yɛ yɛma bae